video I plan to give a crash course on how to fly fixed-wing aircraft, as well as how to employ the weapons you can find on board, attack and fighter planes in Arma 3. I'll showcase all the procedures live with a simple CAS mission, including some static targets, both soft and hard armor, on the Salt Lake of Altis. Keep in mind that by no means am I a professional pilot, nor am I a native English speaker, so some of the lingo might vary from the official technical terms. Taxi using minimum speeds of between 20 and 40 kph. Once lined up on the runway, make sure your flaps are set to middle position, one tick down. We'll talk about that later. Accelerate to 100% and at a speed of between 250 and 350 depending on the aircraft, gently pull up on the nose and begin a steady 10 to 15 degree climb. Active radar is used to find aircraft, while the smaller IR sensor is our camera, which will pick up any active vehicles it can see. Here you are able to cycle targets by pressing R. Now let's move on to the camera. The onboard camera will be your best friend while doing CAS. You access it by pressing Ctrl plus right mouse button. You can stick the camera to the ground or lock it to a moving point, a vehicle for example, by pressing Ctrl plus T. Change to night vision, white hot and black hot modes by pressing N. Zoom in and zoom out by pressing plus and minus symbols on your numpad. Here you can remove the camera independently of the aircraft, keeping in mind the gimbal limits, as the camera can only see what's below the wings. Remember this, it will come in handy. Remember that for air-to-ground operations, when something is in range, when looking directly at it you can lock onto a specific target by pressing T. Here we'll discuss different types of armaments we can fit on board vanilla aircraft. With the gun selected, you will see the gun reticle closing in and aligning with our nose or away from it, depending on your angle of approach and distance. While it's not an official procedure, it's good to use our air brake to limit speed, thus giving us more time to align and perform our gun run. AGM-65 is most used air-to-ground missile, loved by the A-10 pilots. There are a few limitations to its use, but once it hits, no armor is a match. First is range. It's limited by our IR sensor, which depending on the aircraft has different ranges. In the description below I'll paste a link to official Bohemia forums with all of the radar ranges and weapon ranges listed. Dagger is a more versatile, smaller brother of our AGM family. They come in a bigger bunch and are able to lock on vehicles, as well as aircraft and lasers, usage of which we'll cover with our GPUs. They can be used against heavy armor when fired in a pack, although I like to have one pylon of them on me just for a quick and efficient way of destroying soft targets. Often, many at a time. Hydras are completely unguided, coming in HE and AP flavors, usage similar to guns, useful for engaging groups of infantry or soft convoys. Our bombs, so GBUs, can be used either as an unguided 3-4 or laser guided bomb unit. They are useful for getting rid of AAA threats from a standoff range, especially considering that modern AAA is not visible on white hot or black hot vision, proving AGMs useless. Now, GPUs are easy to tame once you get the hang of it. There are just a couple of steps to go through. First, find your target. Second, in your camera switch to laser. Fire the laser and lock onto it by pressing T. Alternatively, roll your aircraft towards the target and press R. Once the nose is aligned heading-wise, get in a bit closer and pitch it so that the diamond crosshair closes in and displays the dot inside. Release the bomb and level the aircraft so that the camera doesn't lose track of its target. Remember that any sudden maneuvers at this point might make the bomb lose the laser, resulting in it missing the desired target and possibly putting friendlies or non-combatants in danger. Now, CBUs and PLUs were the same. CBU-85 is a cluster bomb unit, destroying everything in its path, while the PLU, brother of the cluster family, is used to lay mines, useful for stopping any uninvited visitors. Let's move on to air-to-air. These split off into long and short-range missiles, bar the gun. Long range is radar guided, therefore it cannot be fit and used on aircraft without such technology, like the A-10. Short range work with or without radar, trading their speed and range for maneuverability. For evasion and dogfight techniques, I highly encourage to watch Art of the Kill video, which I'll post in the description below. It's good to mention that if you're playing with mods such as Ace, you have to mind the G-forces. You'll notice them by your vision either becoming darker and darker or more and more red, and a limited field of view. These are effects of your blood being forced either into your brain or being forced out of it due to gravitational forces. Now, for landing it's enough to put flaps twice down, and after aligning your aircraft with the runway, slowly drop altitude and speed. These depend on the aircraft. If you feel like you might not make it, don't shy away from aborting and reapproaching. If you do not know how to land, I encourage to use autopilot landing in the scroll down menu and closely observing the way, speed and altitude to an approach. Glide a meter or two above the runway and focus on dropping your speed, engage air brakes and reduce throttle. The aircraft should gently touch down on the runway.